Hey, how's it going, everyone? Back again with Mind of a Demon Part 3. Let's hear what he has to say. I kind of skimmed through it. He sounds very emotional, so this could be really interesting. Let's hear what this genius has to say. Let's get the volume.
Shalom. I want to give our praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh.
Hashtag slavery, hashtag loser, hashtag heathen, hashtag judgment. So he's really... his life has been influenced quite a bit by Instagram, so good for him.
Double honor to all the elders and apostles that taught me the truth. Peace and shalom to my fellow Akim that taught me the truth, pushing the truth with all honesty and sincerity. And here we go with the mind of God.
How does he know when I'm posting stuff when he's not subscribed? So he must be literally like searching throughout the day. It doesn't look like the subscribe button's hit, so... Is somebody sending you my videos, or like, how are you, you're so bored that you're just going to see what I'm posting? So that's pathetic, man.
Demon again, man. Guy's completely, utterly lost, and he's a hypocrite, all right? And this is just proof that he gets the breakdowns.
Let's hear this hypocrisy. I emailed him because see if he would respond, but again, he's just like a little girl who blocks both of my accounts. And so these people are so fragile that like if you go against them, they're gonna like get irritated. Like telling them the truth like literally gives them like convulsions. I don't know how the Most High makes people like this, you know, fundamentally, that you tell them the truth or another idea or another opinion and they just get super rattled. Hashtags, you know, one after the other, hundreds of hashtags to help them sleep better at night.
From, you know, the camps, and then when we won't help him push his flat earth doctrine, he started doing his own thing. I'm
not looking for help, dude. I'm just putting my stuff out there and then seeing the way people react. One major factor that I consider, and then obviously the teaching that could potentially go against what I'm putting out there. But you haven't taught what you believe, you know, and so he's going to criticize a little bit here of Revelation 11, and I give you credit because you did mention you're going to do a Revelation 11 breakdown, so I'm anxious for that. And then I'll do a commentary on that. And, you know, that's what I'm looking for, you know. And then you can kind of nitpick a little bit here. I didn't watch this whole thing, so I'm curious to see what you have to say, what actual feedback you're going to give. But, you know, the book of Revelation's there. It's not super long, you know, and like you just put them in the sequence and then we'll compare notes. You know, that's what it is. One thing I want to address, because like this is just, to me, this is mad funny, just this whole interaction. It's literally like we're going back to kindergarten. He'll start saying in some of his videos like, oh, I actually hate, you know, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans and all that. Like we're literally in a sandbox. Like he'll go and like tell on other people, you know, oh, this person's actually really hates you. And then like he's literally like he's a 5-year-old. And so all this again for me, and it seems like I'm just kind of doing this like just out of boredom and all that. But what it is like, this is just the world that we live in where everything is backwards. We have to like train our brain to like be encouraged by everything that we see that's backwards. And so every experience that I have in life, not just on YouTube, but in real life, that reminds me that this is hell, whether I see it in the news or stuff going on in the world, all these staged shootings and stuff. I just put that in the this is hell bucket. You know, and so I don't need to know that now because like, you know, just been lied to about everything, but everything for me is just another drop into that. And so like this, if it would be weird for me if we ever collaborated, not just with Obadiah or End Times or whoever, but even in the flat earth, like if there was ever collaboration and we got to a solution, then that would be strange because that's not what hell would be all about. But we don't get that there. And we're definitely not going to get that here or anywhere in the corporate world or in school and all that. And so I just, at this point, I don't care because I know that it's just everywhere. And so it's a weird form of like encouragement, you know, and it's backwards, but that's really all we can sort of take from a lot of these interactions is just that everything reaffirms that we're in a backward society, you know, that completely. And so when you bring out truth or your opinion, you get emotional responses like this. You know, homosexual demon, he's gonna call me and all this kind of stuff. He's telling his audience who's like, I don't know, maybe gets 5 to 10 views. And I'm surprised more people don't come and listen to this because it's funny. But that I hate, you know, the so-called Negroes and Latinos and all that. Here's what I will say, people that I do hate. And it's not the way I would not describe it with skin color. Anybody who hates the things that I teach means that they hate the God that I'm pushing, you know? And so, yeah, I hate that person. And so until that God does not show himself to be true. And so for the time being, anybody who hates the God that I present on my channel, dark skin, virgin born, created a flat stationary earth, America's Mystery Babylon, he hates the structure of America, and the philosophies are now propagated worldwide. The earth is hell, the physical earth is hell, and salvation is an event on earth. And what else is there? Reincarnation. All the principles that I use to decode the Bible. And so, you know, worship Christ, that he literally hung on a cross, you know, and suffered pain. And he didn't just mute his like pain receptors and all that. Like it hurt a lot that I can't even imagine. And so if somebody doesn't like any of those, then I hate that person, because then they're outside of the Bible. They're Antichrist. And so that's not a skin color thing. You know, there are people of all, quote, races or nations that will fall into that bucket, and I hate all of them, you know, passionately. And so until the God of the Bible does not do what I feel that he's going to do very soon, you know, and then if he doesn't come through with what I've taught, then I'm pushing, first of all, a fictitious God, and then I have no reason to hate people who hate fiction. You know, they should hate me. And so that kind of thing. So again, this is like just for clarification. It's very, very obvious, I think, for the people who've been around my channel for a little while. That's who I hate. And I would never describe it in terms of like skin color or anything like that. None of that kind of thing. You know, it's sad actually that more people who are so-called African-American don't warm up to this truth as quickly as some of us do. You know, like End Times Teacher, for example, is not a quote-unquote African-American, and I'm not either, but we warm up to this, you know, that Christ is a so-called Negro, dark skin, and many of the so-called Negroes in America are the biblical Jews. And so it's surprising to me, and I bet you he would say the same, that we don't understand why other people don't, you know, warm up to that fact. But if they don't, we hate them. So because they hate God. And so if my parents would not worship a dark-skinned God, I hate them. You know, that's just a fact. And so that's the times that we live in. And we've always been like that. I just didn't know it until now. You know, it's more explicit. And so that's the way I would describe people that I hate. You know, and so, again, it has nothing to do with a particular type. But the reciprocal is also true. I don't love people just because of their 12 tribe sign, which is stupid. You know, I love people who acknowledge those truths that I just said. And so they'll come from all different backgrounds. That's what the Bible says, that God's spirit is in all nations. And so there are people everywhere waking up to these truths, you know, and just they may not be on YouTube, but some of them might be homeless. Some of them might be blind, lame, and all that, as the Bible says. So again, they're all in all different conditions as well, and all different nations. So again, all this guy can do now is like make fun of my hair, call me a homosexual demon and all that kind of stuff, and make up false things about how I hate people and all that. You know, so this is like sweet though. You know, I want people to know when you get a reaction from this, like this with quote truthers, whatever you're pushing, then either what you're pushing is completely ridiculous or it's true, you know, and he would not spend this much time if what I was pushing was just complete nonsense. And so let's hear what he has to say.
Because he's really a fanboy. All right.
How can I be a fan of somebody that I'm literally making fun of every single video? Like, you literally are such a coward that you can't, for some reason, it can't leave your mouth that the earth is flat and stationary, which is just obvious to anybody who's just not even spiritual. But then you have the Bible supporting it with hundreds of verses. And so I think you're a coward, and I think you're disgusting. What I wrote to you in that email a while back, I stand by that. And I would write even more now, you know, if I were to send you an email. So I think you're a vile, disgusting human being. So not a fan of anything.
And the debate style page and the back and forth argumentative style thing, that's the only thing he can do because he doesn't know the scriptures. And this is proof. So right here in this video, it says,
let's see, he's going to dig into Revelation 11. I give him credit. So let's, he's going to, you know, dig at mine. That's cool. And then he pulls up the timeline, which I give him credit. And then everybody, I'm waiting, and we're all waiting for yours, man. Super excited whenever you get yours out. I'm going to premiere it.
Times Apostle Tahar GMS completely butchering Revelations 11 and sensationalizing the gospel.
Sensationalizing, dude? It's sensualizing. Take a second to like look that up, dude. You could hit the audio icon and it'll tell you how to pronounce it.
So what he's going to first say is,
but he is sensationalizing it as well.
Tahar is going off with the three woes being World War I, World War II, and World War III. But in the video that he made before this, he himself said that the three woes was World War I and World War II. And
let's hear this, dude. You're treading on very, very thin ice here. Let's see how smart you are here. Pretty smart people come by my channel.
He was on the video with the End Times teacher saying that he hates how people change the story when he with himself went and actually changed the story. And we have the proof for this right here.
This better be good, man. I'm serious.
So we're just going to get to the point. We're not going to make 30 and 40-minute videos of this homosexual demon anymore.
So this guy is so high up in the ranking, you know, in the 144, that he's chosen to go back and forth with a person that he just called a homosexual demon and then breaking down their verses. Why would you ever even think about going and getting somebody's opinion who you think is a homosexual and like look at their breakdowns? Does that make any sense? Like, that's so insane, you know, like that's so crazy. I don't have an issue with these everyday average people so much. We're making fun of them because we're going back and forth. But it's Tahar and all them, you know, that we know are just running a scam. These are the victims of the scam. And so I'm trying to help him, but looks like he's just really into it, and that's fine. But only the Most High can wake people up to various truths. But, you know, does that make any sense? And so, dude, you could keep doing this again. It's good for me because it brings up stuff that I've taught and reminds me of certain things, and then maybe look into some new things at a different level of depth or whatever. But all these things that I teach are obvious, like the flat earth, reincarnation, virgin birth, mystery Babylon. It's just, I mean, it's literally the Bible just pushing itself into the mainstream and just proclaiming it's true. And people like me are just kind of there to like connect the dots a little bit for people, but it's like, it's obvious. And so no normal person would read Revelation 11 and start making up all this random stuff. 3.5 days means 400 years, and 2 witnesses means 2 nations, and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's just absurd. And so, you know, it's pretty much all out there.
We're just going to get straight to the point.
And came together before their promised date. And so,
dude, you're not going to get views. Let's say you want to get views because it looks like you just, I don't know, for whatever reason, you want to put this many videos of me and all that kind of stuff and not feed the flock or whatever. But talking about flat earth, for example, which is going to keep coming up between you and I, it's just not a good look. Like if you really want to get recognition with the GMS crew, because it's going to be a stigma associated with you. And that's just a friendly warning. You can do whatever you want. I've said this to Good Servant as well when I went on his channel. Once I talk to people about Mystery Babylon, the whole 501c3 Christian church is going to reject you. And so fair warning, I guess, just so you know.
These people are just completely lost. And so it gets really bad if you just keep reading through Revelation 11, because Tahar teaches that the 3 woes in the Bible are World War I, World War II, and World War III. And the problem is that Revelation 11:14 says the second woe is past, and behold, the third will come quickly. So where's the Second World War in all of this? In all of this prophesying?
We're excited for your Revelation 11 breakdown, dude. So you're going to stick to the fact that World War II is the second woe, and then that's also just going to be funny when you break down Revelation 11 and then share it, and then you know, proclaim your truth to the world, the chosen people, right? That's going to be funny, dude.
You know, and any of this stuff, that's not true. The second woe is happens here, you know, where the 2 witnesses are taken away. There's a great earth.
So keep in mind, now he's pulled up my timeline, so he has no excuse to just make up stuff. Like, he knows the sequence that I teach, and so he doesn't have to agree with it, obviously, but he's pulled it up, so he's at least looked at it.
Wait.
And he has no scriptures to back that up. He's tying the 2 witnesses in with Acts, I forget what chapter it is, to where Yahushua descended up.
It's 110. It's Acts 110, and that is the main thing that I was given on the first day of this year. And so if you don't receive that, then that's fine. All we can do is agree to disagree. And so you think you're the 2 witnesses, so Christ's return to bring the 2 witnesses here is not necessary. And so that's your position, you know, and that's fine. I don't know what, like, if we differ on that, how are we going to explain anything in the book of Revelation in any kind of, sequence that will make sense? We're just communicating with a different language. And so people on my channel, for example, who come by know that there's no way that you could be the two witnesses. Like GMS, not you personally, but GMS, Sakari, and HOI, and all these people, no way. Like, there's 0% chance. And so I know that that's not true. Doesn't mean mine's true, but I know that that's not true. And I have a feeling you sort of know it too. That's why you're digging into it.
And the two angels,
which is smart.
Jews that were clothed in white were on his side. He's tying it into the two witnesses.
I'm not tying into it. That's from the Most High. And so, you could tell me, what do you think that means when they say that the reciprocal is going to happen? When he returns, what do those two people represent? Just there for fun? They're just there kind of just watching, just kicking around, just kind of chilling out, hanging out. What do those two people represent when Yahushua returns, you dummy?
Just utter ridiculousness. But
that laugh, we know from psychology, is an uncomfortable laugh, man. So you can't take that verse literally. You can't take all the flat earth, stationary earth verses literally. You can't take Revelation 11 literally. Then the whole Bible is just nothing. So what are you doing with this? You ask me what I'm doing with this. I'm reading the Bible and taking a majority of it literally.
Listen to this right here. Here's his video.
So again, just to be clear, his claim is that I said that World War I, World War II, and World War III is woe number 1, 2, and 3. That's what he claims that I said. Let's hear if I say that.
Prophesying, and then it will also be where they're administering plagues on the earth.
So listen to where he says that what the two woes are after he initially said that Tahar was going off for saying that.
According to Revelation 16. And then after that, we have the wrath of God. And the wrath of God is began with a large earthquake, a massive earthquake in America.
And that same earthquake's at the end of 11 and 16. Those are sister chapters. And then 13 is happening in that as well. So those three are all bundled together.
It's literally described as a great earthquake. And this is the time where God's elect will return with Christ and his angels to destroy the people with the mark of the beast.
2nd Ezra 13 and Revelation 14.
Everybody that's on earth who will be on God's left-hand side. And so the sequence can also be summarized by woes in the book of Revelation. The first woe has passed. It's World War I, World War II, and then also be summarized by woes in the book of Revelation. The first woe has passed. It's World War I, World War II, and then also be summarized by woes in the book of Revelation. The first woe has passed. It's a false flag event, and then World War II, and then the 9/11 false flag event, and then
what kind of a laugh is that, dude?
False flag event is one of the woes this guy is saying.
So if you read Revelation 9:11, literally that verse, then that describes this one world government, and then there's now it's officially like a one world government, and that 9/11 false flag event is like a literally a ritual act. And so everything leading up to that is the first woe. World War I, World War II, and all the stuff leading up is essentially preparation now for this quote new world order. And that's it's not a coincidence that Revelation 9 is there and then what it says. And so he doesn't understand that. And then right after that, it says that the first woe was passed in Revelation 9. And so he's laughing, but he doesn't understand. First of all, I didn't say what he claimed, that I said both the world wars and most importantly, the 9/11 event, because now with the 9/11 event, there are God's elect now on earth, there's not actors, there are people who figured it out, that was fake at that time. And we all know that now. So those world wars and that, they're all just actors, it's just infighting between God's left-hand side. And so it's just setting the stage, for this, this age that we live in, this time of Revelation 12. And so the first woe is not World War I, it's World War I, II, and the 9/11 event, like I said. And so I don't understand what he's talking about. It's just grouping together all of that history, and so all of that is essentially, like I said, preparation for this age of deception and then the Great Tribulation. And so World War woe number 2 has nothing to do with the wars. That's way in the past. the woe number 2 is the end of Revelation 11, which he again thinks that they're the fulfillment of, walking around talking nonsense on the streets, barking at people, when it's when the actual 2 witnesses are here at the end of their 1260-day period. And woe number 3 is not even explicitly stated, but it's just implied that it's when Christ returns.
With no scripture.
With the angels and his elect.
To prove this whatsoever. Again.
He's just looking at the summary timeline, but my whole video, the hour-long one, goes in all the scriptures that prove that. So I don't understand. He's, again, not really helping his case, because first of all, he claimed that I said something, which I clearly didn't. And so Tahar teaches that woe 1 is World War I, woe 2 is World War II, woe 3 is World War III. And that's just not true. And then the third, quote, World War is actually man, all of God's left-hand side fighting against, Christ and his angels and his elect. So is that really a world war? That's like a space war. That's why they have this space force or whatever that was just developed, and it's always been there. The governments worldwide know that their worries are not with one another, because they're all on the same team, according to the Bible, that the king's heart is all controlled by God. And many, many verses that make that obvious. And you get that for free with the flat stationary Earth, that they all know that the moon landings are a hoax and all that kind of stuff. So they're not worried about one another. They're worried about up. And so before that up happens, America is destroyed first, according to the Bible. And so God just cleans that up, and so then they focus their efforts on this invader. So that's the sequence.
And so in the video prior to this, he was saying that Tahar was going off for saying that World War I and World War II were the woes. All right. And here he's made a damn chart even saying the same thing.
No, I didn't. You're just stupid. And I'm glad that you posted this, because you're just, again, showing that you're mentally just, there's literally GMO blocking your brain. That it's a big difference to say woe 1 is World War I, woe 2 is World War II, and then to say woe 1 is combined World War I, World War II, and the 9/11 false flag event all together. And it just represents all of that history. That's why in that chart, if you look at that timeline, I'm saying that it's everything prior to that. And so I just did the woes just so people can have a sense of the flow of the chapters, and so how leading up all the stuff from 9 back is like history. It's setting the stage, for this final age of deception, and all that kind of stuff. Revelation 12 happening right now. Next is Revelation 11. So the Revelation is not in sequence. It only starts getting in sequence from 16 onwards. 16 is the plagues, which the 2 witnesses are administering. And then 17 and 18 is America being destroyed. 19 and 20 is then the wrath. And then 21 and 22 is the kingdom. So those are all in sequence, from 16 onwards. But that's what it is. That's the point of this.
So now we know that we can't take him serious. And
dude, you're making all these videos, and then now people know that you're just stupid. You're just flat out dumb. And then I've already ruined your foundation by posting videos that people already kind of sense that GMS are just monsters. And so your foundation is gone, because no one's going to take anybody talks like that seriously. And then now you're just posting videos of homosexual demon, and this guy hates all these other people, and you're in a sandbox, you're 5 years old. And then now you're literally showing proof that I didn't say what you claim that I said. And so that's ridiculous if you think that that's me claiming that World War I is woe 1 and World War II is woe 2 and World War III is woe 3. That's stupid. And so you don't even understand what World War III is, apparently, which is sad. You're waiting for a World War III to happen between nations, but it's going to happen against God. And you guys teach this, so I don't understand how you're this dumb, waiting for all these nations to fight when there's no beef between them until God puts it in their heart to do that and to destroy Babylon, And then, but that's God doing that. And so that's very, very different than all these nations start fighting against each other and all that kind of stuff. And then the missiles are in the air, and then you get beamed up or whatever. So good luck waiting for that.
Just spending too much time in Israel dealing with it. This is 2 Timothy 4 and 3. For the time will come when they will not endure to sound doctrine. He can't understand it. All right.
What's sound doctrine? Spinning ball earth? That the 2 witnesses are people that are siphoning money from innocent people to go have sex with prostitutes? That's sound doctrine to you? You think anybody who comes by my channel is going to believe that? Especially with this performance that you just put on here, Mind of a Demon Part 3. 4 different hashtags like a little girl.
He can't understand it because he's not getting built up in the spirit. and edified in the spirit.
Dude, no one wants to get built up in the spirit you guys got going on over there with your GMO food and GMS, GMO. You're paying Tahar to go have sex with prostitutes to lie to you. How is that sound doctrine? You're stupid.
And trying to mix flat earth in with the scriptures. And
how is mixing flat earth in the scriptures? Hundreds of verses support the flat stationary earth. That's on your brain. I love every time you post a video and mention that and put my name or whatever relate to me. So people now associate mind of a demon or whatever, mind of God, and the flat earth, and then those are all kind of synonymous. And I want to be connected to that. That's a truth that I'm thankful for, you know, and we had to work for it to go into those debates and then learn and research it a little bit. And then God revealed it officially with the Black Swan. But I want to be associated with that, for example, and then all the other things that I teach. So that's good. I appreciate the advertisement.
Wyndham made a whole video about me because I said I don't know if the earth is round or flat. You know, I really don't care.
Do you not know or do you not care? And so both are stupid at this point, and sad because the Bible is very clear about it. And so you can say that, you know, there's still a bit of technical uncertainty because you didn't go out and do tests and stuff, but the Bible stance on it is very, very clear that the sun and moon are local, and then there are two lights in the sky, and they perform a circuit, you know, above a non-rotating Earth. And so, and there's a limit, you know, it's not like the universe goes for infinity or whatever. Where's God? You just squish him out. You know, it's like the people here, NASA tells us they got all the corners of the earth figured out, but the Bible says that that's impossible, or else God would have destroyed his people. And so you should know these verses, you know, swallowing all this garbage coming from NASA, which if you use the term, you know, a little looser, it means to deceive in Hebrew. You're the Hebrew scholars, right? So you should know this stuff. You should be on the blue letter with that. But you're just drinking Tahar's GMO, eating his GMO food, and then drinking NASA's garbage, you know, to wash it all down. So you're just completely lost. And so how are we supposed to take you seriously? All we can do is make fun of you. I feel sorry for you. Like, dude, the earth is a flat stationary earth. It's obvious. Your quote unquote ancestors, they knew that. Look at all the different models of the earth and the ancients. They all knew that it was flat and stationary. You claim that Issachar, all the experts of the stars, what are they reading? The stars like moving through like the Milky Way galaxy or whatever? Are you kidding me? How are you supposed to make any predictions with that and that kind of thing? You're so dumb. You don't even know what stellarium is, that people are looking up in the stars and then certain patterns are matching what the Bible says. You know, I don't pay attention to that too much, but shout out to Flat Earth Boxer. He has a good video on that, but you were mocking that and you're stupid. So you don't look at anything except the garbage that Tahar is feeding you. And then so he can collect his ties and then go run up in some prostitutes, you know? So you're just so dumb, dude. I don't know what to say. It's sad.
Once you show me the doctrine of Yahushua teaching flat earth,
I'm not showing you anything. You're just dumb. All I'm doing is to point out how stupid you are. And so there's nothing to teach you. You're just like literally like a little 5-year-old who just plugs his ears and doesn't want to hear. You really want to jump on a ball that's moving and spinning and all that. Go, dude. Be happy on your spinning ball or whatever. That's fine. You don't need it to be saved. I'm just going to keep reminding you that. Don't worry about it. We don't want people around you, dude. We're in a time of separation. I want these videos to create larger distance between us. Make fun of me more, you know, like he's ugly, you know, because like you like to compliment or make fun of guys, right? And so that's kind of like a pretty masculine thing to do. Make comments about the way a guy looks. That's pretty masculine of you. So you like to do stuff like that. So I want more and more distance, you know, between me and you. You people disgust me. You disgust me. Anybody who is dumb enough at this stage to fall for this kind of trick is just stupid, you know? So this is not even the shape of the earth thing. Just anybody who would take people like that seriously pushing the Bible is like worse than somebody who would fall for Joel Osteen and all that kind of stuff. So you're just disgusting. And so going out and telling people that, you know, to keep the law to the best of their ability and all that kind of stuff, we can't keep any of the law here. So we need to get out of here, away from you.
Now I'll start to study that and then I'll add it on into my doctrine. But until then, like, it doesn't even matter. Okay, and he can prove that.
It doesn't matter to you because you're just a limited scripter. You're just an actor. You're a person that when you bring truth, you get emotional, and then all you can do is make fun of people. You know, like just make fun of the way they look or all that kind of stuff, which is a very gay thing to do. I don't know how to say that a different way. You called me a homosexual demon earlier, but that's just a gay thing to do. That's a very childish thing to do than to go and say this guy hates all these different people. Like you're like literally like a kid in this, like someone stole your toy in the sandbox or whatever, crying like a little girl. So I just want you to know when I see this, it's like funny to me, because like then it's like something is going on spiritually. And so, because this is not a normal reaction, you know, it's like you don't have to go and push the flat earth if you're unsure about it, but for you to keep bringing it up like this and like mentally keep saying, oh, it doesn't matter for salvation, that's not stuff that I'm saying, you know, like you're just putting that in your head and like talking yourself out of this trance, I guess, or something. So we're just like kind of using your videos to just laugh at you, you know. It's like, why do you have such a hang up on it when all I'm saying is that it's just true and it's obvious, you know. And so if anybody who pushes the opposite, like, are against the Bible, because that's not what the Bible says. And so that's just what it is, you know. That person can change their mind and come around. According to End Times teacher Sakari is now aware that there was this flying stationary and stuff. When I have a video of them and Tahar kind of making fun of it, so maybe they've, you know, God has, you know, got them closer to the truth, and so that's good. But it's on your brain, and so you're making all these conversations in your head that I'm actually not, you know, necessarily speaking of. Like I've said many times, you don't necessarily have to push the flat earth doctrine or flat earth in your theology, but you can't oppose it and make fun of it and then go ahead and manipulate verses to go think that we live on a spinning ball when nothing in the Bible supports an oblate spheroid wobbling, flying through space. So that's not true. Just flat out, that's Antichrist.
That matter. All right, so we're still waiting for that breakdown of Yahushua teaching flat earth.
Not giving you any breakdown. You're just stupid. I gave you that sequence and that timeline, and you can't even read. Like, you can't even take something simple like that and process what I'm saying. So like, what am I going to feed you? You're just useless.
All right. Which is not sound doctrine. Again, so for the time will come when they will not endure to sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. Yeah, he loves giving this guy who's Russian vids, whatever, like hand jobs. And he praises him. He praises him as he's the next coming of the Yahushua, man. Okay. These
are very like suspicious forms of insults, and so we get this from the ballers, you know, like that they'll make these kind of like gay, you know, jokes and references. And so what's going on? These are the men of the Lord, right? And so we're finding out what's really going on.
And I don't know Russian vids. I don't care. Like, I don't follow.
You don't care about anything, dude. All you care about is whatever CNN and Fox News tells you for that day. You just gobble it up, you know, and then Wikipedia, you gobble that up. And then NASA, you gobble that up. And so, yeah, you've already said many, many times you don't care. We get that. Now all I'm doing is just pointing out how stupid you are for not caring about a lot of things that are important. So that's all that's left for me here and your videos.
Like, I'm not into social media real big.
This coming from not into social media real big puts like hundreds of hashtags underneath his YouTube videos. Where'd you get that from? Where'd you learn that from?
Do my studies on YouTube. I watch a few videos and then I get off. Like, I'm not into social media and shit like that all day long, you know. So I don't know what any of these people are that he's talking about.
It's not social media, dummy. It's a person who we don't know, but he has a limited script that he's allowed to speak from. But he's brought a lot of people into Flat Earth and then the 33 and 666 encoding. And he is the only person that I've seen do it and do it in such a clear way and do it for many, many years. And so, and he's been consistent about it. And guess what? His channels keep getting taken down, like lots of truth channels. So he's going against the grain and all that kind of stuff. And all these quote unquote shootings that you think a lot of them are real, they're just not. And so I'm not saying every single one are, but like, you think that the people now all of a sudden care? Like now, oh man, 2020, now all of a sudden, you know, Black Lives Matter, you know, now all these people, you think all of a sudden now this, the CNN cares, like all the enslavement that you know about, you know, and that's prophesied. And now all of a sudden they're going to put these like few shootings in the news. Are you that stupid? Jeez, oh my God, dude.
Name another Israelite groups that I should rebuking and I should...
I never said you should rebuke other ones. I said you should rebuke your own. This is, again, your brain is totally blocked. It's like you're having literally other conversations in your head. It doesn't surprise me if you have many, many demons on you, but never said that. I'm asking you to mirror the video that I posted about Tahar promoting adultery on your channel to show that you're not an actor. But we know you're just an actor, so we're just going to laugh at you.
Called out, and I don't know any of these people, so I'm going to rebuke them. You know, but this is what he does, man. He's having itching ears.
So you can only rebuke people you know? Why are you rebuking me? You don't know me. So you're so stupid, man.
Okay, thinking that the Lord is working with him, but he's not, and he just proved himself to be a hypocrite.
Your Lord is not working with me. And so if you ask me what I hate or who I hate, it's your God. And so my God and your God are competing. We'll see which one wins.
All right. So, and I'm sure he'll come with some kind of crazy explanation to explain this total lie away.
Nothing to explain. It's not a lie. I never said Woe 1 is World War One, and Woe 2 is World War II, and Woe 3 is World War III. That's stupid. And so that's dumb. And then it's just against the Bible. It's Antichrist. And I think you know that it's stupid. And so I'm excited to see how you're going to massage Revelation 11. It's going to be nice.
Because this is 2 Timothy 4:4, and they shield.
It's not that deep, man. You're going back and forth with something that's very, very straightforward at this point. You know, it's just, it's out there. You know, people see what's going on in the world. You can look at Revelation and figure it out. It's not that deep.
Turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned into fables. And that's what he's preaching. He's preaching a fable.
What's your fable then? You know, like, or what's your truth? Sorry, what's your sequence then? If you think that my sequence is like a fables and I'm lying about all these different terms and grouping things together, where's your stuff, man? Like, we keep asking you this, but what do you have as a sequence? What do you know about Revelation? At least 11 and 16. You think 11's already done. Okay, so like, when's 16 going to start? And what do those plagues represent? Who's going to administer them? How? Like, give us something, you know? Give me something to critique. You're just dumb, dude. Like, I'm telling you that you've been fed lies. And then once you start looking at the book of Revelation, you're going to realize that those breakdowns that you've been given are just trash because they do not line up with what's going on in the world and then what's literally about to happen. And so this Corolla and all that kind of stuff. And I saw what you did in that video about the mark of the beast. I didn't ask whether you believe it's the RFID chip. I asked whether you believe if the RF is not going to be there. And are you going to be accountable to that? So you don't think that people watch my entire video and know that you're just taking little pieces and saying that, you know, I'm lying and all that kind of stuff. Like, we know what you're doing. I'm letting you know that it's the same pattern we get with other liars and deceivers. And so it's just obvious. And so I would, again, this is actually good for me to go back and forth. It helps me kill time. But you're just going to keep pointing out the fact that you say one thing and then, you know, just showing that you're a liar, you know, in many, many different examples over and over again. So you might want to go and like feed the flock or feed the elect or whoever you want to go and teach this garbage to. Go teach them the spinning ball of earth.
Here he's talking about the woman and the stars and dragons and 2 witnesses on the streets and Amazon packages they're sending across the world to people because they killed the 2 witnesses. Just complete madness. What's
madness about that? That's literally what Revelation 11 says. What do you think that means? What do you think that means when in the context of the 2 nations or whatever, you clowns being the 2 witnesses? What does that mean? Break that down. You're very quick to scoff at mine, which is just, that's very practical. What would happen if 2 people here were administering the plagues in Revelation 16 and tormenting the world? What, the world's going to hate them. And then when they're killed, they're going to rejoice and like celebrate because this world is evil, just like you. And so you actually will go up to Moses and Elijah and you guys will chastise them because you're like, no, we're the 2 witnesses. And so the religious people, you guys are the first going to they're going to go and like chastise them and all that kind of stuff. So obviously the rest of the world will too. And so what's your breakdown on it then? No one cares about you people, dude. Like, you guys are following the Babylonian customs to a T. You're ball earthers, social distancing, wearing a mask. No one cares. You can prophesy out all you want. Like now GMS Houston, they went to a remote part and they're all like in smaller groups to obey Esau. You know, you're the people that your master, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So it's a yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full. You guys are just a bunch of clowns. And so the actual 2 witnesses don't give a flip what any of these police say.
All right. And he's a double-minded man and he's unstable in all his ways, man. Okay. Just the typical internet tough guy. And again, wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fly, you know, just ridiculous with the ridiculous
that's a good one.
Messy beard and a terrible comb over. This is James.
You keep making comments about a man's appearance, which is not what I'm used to. And so I don't know where you got that from. Maybe Tahar or one of these people are in the closet, but that's not what I've had with other people, you know, and that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure what's going on with you personally.
James 1:8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, and he's very double-minded here. Okay, again, he was following the Tahar and GMS and Sakar. He knows all of the Israelite groups. Meanwhile, they don't know who this nigga is at all. But
yeah, I know all of them. I know all the flat Earth groups. I know all of them because I study this stuff. You know, I've been in this for a few years, and like all the stuff Russian vids, I watch all of his videos, and so. Yeah, I mean, I'm into this, dude. You saw the videos that I do in Flat Earth. I don't get in those hangouts anymore because it's already been proven. There's other people in the Flat Earth who are just leaving now because they're like, there's nothing to talk about. It's over now. The Earth is flat and stationary. So a lot of us are just quote retiring from it. And so just moving on to other things, you know, and like that's a done deal. And so when I do go try and talk to Hebrews, you get pushed away, like you blocked on the comments and all that, because you guys are stupid. Like you guys think the two witnesses are all these baboons out on the streets, and then a lot of you are bald earthers, so you're like extra stupid, and then you're blaspheming the Holy Spirit with the non-virgin birth. So I don't want to know you people. I want to get away from you.
He knows all the Israelites.
We're just doing this to make fun of you.
Groups, and he stopped following them because they wouldn't come along on his flat Earth ride.
Yeah, there's truth to that. Yeah, I mean, I know that all your other interpretations are going to be stupid because of that. And so also because of the non-virgin birth. And so it's not surprising that your breakdown of Revelation 11, which is non-existent at this point, but is also stupid. And so, yeah, it's not just flat earth, but it's one of those ways to test a person's spirit. You know, it's just like when you go up to a 501c3 Christian and then you mention to them that Christ is dark skinned and they go all crazy, then we test their spirit. We know that that person is Antichrist.
All right, and the guy's just completely a lonely man, a demon, and I'm starting to actually feel sorry for him. I really am.
You're feeling sorry for me, dude. You're spinning on a ball at like 1,000 miles an hour. You know, are you think that's like a merry-go-round? You're having more fun than me. When I hear about people who think that and are unsure about that, I just think that they're stupid. You know, and so you have James 1:8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So. Why are you not sure about that? You said you were in flat earth prior to coming into truth. Then you had to drop that truth to get into the truth. Does that make sense? You're so dumb. If you're in a group that requires you to leave your brain and like critical thinking at the door to join, did you join a good place? Are you around like spiritual people, good people to be around? You idiot. Then you also said, I think at some point that you're into numerology before. And then you think any of these people are allowed to talk about 33 and like all that kind of stuff? Like zip. And so you've had to leave things that are good that will help you sort of figure out what's going on in the Bible because it's loaded with numerology and it's loaded with the flat stationary earth. And so you've had to leave the truth to enter this cult, you know, to finance Tahar, you know, and Rakar and all these people get with prostitutes. And so this obviously has to be hell, and this better be the end times because how much dumber can it get?
You can just see the loneliness in his look in his eyes, man. And
dude, why are you assessing my loneliness, looking into my eyes, critiquing my hair and all that kind of stuff? Dude, that's, I don't want that opinion from you ever. You know, it's okay, dude. Don't get deep like this, and no one's going to get any kind of sympathy. We know you're just an animal by your teaching, the way, like what you're teaching and the way you're teaching it. So don't think that anybody's going to come and like get any kind of sympathy for you and all that kind of stuff. I'm lonely and I'm happy to be alone. Like, I think everybody, a majority of these people on this earth are stupid. They're dumb. They just don't read the Bible. They don't care about they just make up their own God and all that kind of stuff. There are a few out there, but there's not many, you know, and so, lonely by choice. Very, very happy about it. Bored, but you're helping with these videos to make fun of you.
Hatred for you, Latinos, Native Americans, and, Negroes is just glowing. It's very blatant. And
I hate you and Tahar and all them. I don't hate like large groups of people and all that kind of stuff. In my life, even prior to coming into the truth, I have friends from all different backgrounds. So I'm not like biased towards one group or anything like that. Again, I acknowledge that Christ is dark skin, and I celebrate that, you know, and I worship that and appreciate that, and it makes sense and all that kind of stuff. So no, don't get confused. You're trying to shift the hatred off you to other people. And no, be very clear. I hate you. Because you're Antichrist for many different reasons. And I hate the apostles and all that kind of stuff. Anybody who goes against the teaching that I teach on my channel, and which are obvious, not the ones that are a little bit more subtle, I hate that person too. I don't care what they look like. I don't even care if they're in my family.
And so we're going to look up this word double-minded. Again, this is for edification purposes, because the guy is a complete demon. He doesn't understand that this is what we do.
What do? You look up words that have obvious definitions? That's what you do? That's brilliant, dude.
Strong's G 1374. Dipsuchos. Dipsuchos.
Dipsuchos. And it says double-minded, wavering, uncertain, doubting.
Just coming from a guy who just posted a video and he said he's not sure or doesn't care what the shape of the earth is. And so you're dip psycho, according to that. So Strong's G 1374. So how do you not know at this point that you're not spinning? And then know from the Bible that, and just looking outside, that the sun and moon are local and two lights that just run a circuit. Is that like mysterious to you? Like, you figured out all these other things about the Bible, but you haven't figured that out? Like, you can't take a couple minutes to look at a sunset or whatever? You idiot.
Divided in interest, and that's what he is. All right, he's wavering because he doesn't get the understanding of what it actually is. All right, but he's saying that God gave him understanding, but he changed his.
Yeah, God gave me the understanding of the two witnesses being those two in Acts 1:10. Yes, correct. And then the only way I can verify that that's true is if it happens.
He changed his stance on it. All right, just like you said, he was going to stop prophesying in the middle of 2020, but yet he's still making videos. All right, still.
I'm not prophesying. This is just me making fun of you. But technically, my prediction has come true. Like, I didn't go in detail as to like what I meant by destruction, but you've even posted videos, and lots of people are posting videos every day that America's done. You know, mainstream people in finance, Gregory Mannarino is just saying it's over. You know, like, America is just destroyed and printing the dollar. It's a wrap now. And so it's like America's fallen, you know, and like, you know from the Bible that it's been fallen for a while, but this Corolla thing it's the end game, you know, it's a wrap. And so technically my prediction is like already sort of been fulfilled, but really what I was getting at was the second coming, you know, and so all that kind of stuff. So you can make a case that in a softer sense that America's destroyed, you know, and like it's evident, you know, financially and all that. But no, I haven't. Again, that was just more because no one cares, you know, and like the same with you, like you bring out stuff, people just don't care, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So all I can do is put my stuff out there, and it's there if people want to look at it, and then do some little maintenance on my channel a little bit, and then, you know, that kind of thing, and then wait, you know, for the return.
Pushing and preaching this flat earth doctrine, man. All right. The Lord not dealing.
I want to do a counter of how many times you say flat earth, and I'm happy every time you do, so I'm gonna keep like a track next time.
This guy, man, and it's crystal clear, man. All right, crystal clear. So we've seen the videos of him changing his doctrine, changing his mind, and just being double-minded, man, and carnal, just like we know the heathen are, man. They are unstable in all their ways, and ultimately he's getting ready to go into slavery, man. So shalom.
Yeah, dude, I'm doing my push-ups. I'm getting ready for slavery and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be enslaved by somebody who's mentally retarded like you. That's crazy. So he's like carnal. This guy's talking about like my hair and like that I'm homosexual and all that kind of stuff, you know, which is super gay and double-minded. And this guy doesn't even know that the earth is flat and stationary. He hasn't figured it out yet. It's like pretty much near the end and he hasn't figured that out. And his friend, End Times Teacher, is trying to help him maybe look into it. Help him kind of flush some of that GMO out, but he won't hear it. You know, he won't hear it from anybody because Papa Tahar will get really upset and that kind of thing. And then his salvation will be in question and all that kind of stuff. But I want people to know leaving GMS and these groups is a work of the Holy Spirit, not staying in them. And so he's got it all backwards. It's not surprising that he believes everything that's backwards, but ultimately he's just an actor. You know, I know this again. So all these people are just actors and stuff. So he's going to stick with this script. So this is just more for comedy, and excited to hear your Revelation 11 breakdown. Take care. Bye.